As we come closer to the end of the year, I thought that I would share with you guys all the things that I made in 2024. Now, in 2024, I was pregnant for almost 10 months, so I didn't make as much as I used to. And I also had a storefront for a couple of months, so I was quite busy and I couldn't get to do as many sewing projects as I wanted to. But I did still manage to make quite a few items. This is about 15 outfits or probably more, and every single one of them were made from scratch. If you're new here, I'm Gabby and this is So Quaint. On this channel, I share sewing tips and tutorials, so if that sounds like your jam, hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I post something new. I hope that by the end of this video, you'll be encouraged to start making your own clothes. I've been sewing since 2014. So that means in 2024, I've been sewing for an entire decade and I'm so proud of myself for actually sticking to it. If you want to start your sewing journey, then you should check out this video where I talk all about how to start your sewing journey. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm not going to be doing these in any specific order because I don't remember when I made each of them. I just know that I made them this year. So first, we're going to start with this crop top right here. This is pretty much just cotton fabric that I cut that was about 2 times the size of my bust area. And I did a shuring effect all over it from top to bottom. And then I added an ankh. This was the first in a very long time that I was doing a shuring project. I just wanted to try my hands at it and it turned out really well. I also thought that I could not do shuring on my industrial sewing machine, but I found out that I could. So if you want a tutorial on how to achieve a shuring effect on your clothing, then check out this video right here. This is something that I like to wear whenever I'm wearing like skirts or pants. It's extremely cute and simple, and I love the ankh detail on it. You'll notice that I have a lot of designs that have ankhs on them because that's one of my favorite symbols to add to my clothing designs. Next up, we have this vest, which also has an ankh on the back. And I just made this impulsively one day because I wore a full orange outfit with a tube top and a joggers, just like what I'm wearing right now, to work or to the shop that I had. And I didn't like how exposed I felt. I felt like the outfit could have used like another layer and some other colors because everything was orange. So I had this beautiful fabric that I found inside Pink's fabric and I decided to make myself a vest with it. I didn't have enough fabric though, so I ended up putting this black chenille fabric at the back and I did it with like a diamond or triangular effect, and then I added an ankh with gold leatherette. I love cutting out all the symbols that I'm doing on my clothing items in leatherette because I find that it just adds like more texture and vibe and character to whatever it is that I'm making. But this is something that I love to wear over outfits that are, like exposed, like crop tops, halter top, tube tops, and it works perfectly. I have a tutorial on my channel where I show you how to do a bias banding finish on your armholes and neck holes. So check that out if you're interested. Next, we have these shorts. This is something that I made much earlier in the year, probably at the beginning of the year, as a matter of fact, because I needed like a nice pair of white high-waisted shorts. And I believe I used twill fabric to do this. Unfortunately, though, it is soiled at the back here. I don't know what happened. I think I must have put it with some colored fabrics in the closet and it just ended up getting soiled. I think with my white fabrics or my white garments, I want to start putting them in bags or just with all the whites so that they don't get soiled. But I like this because I can wear this with my Rasta belt, any belt as a matter of fact that has a vibe to it. And I can wear it with just about anything, like look at this. This is a really cute outfit. By the way, these hangers are from Amazon and I will link them in my description box down below just in case you're looking for some hangers that you can use for your handmade creations or just your clothes overall. I mean, you can always just go into like a store close to you, but if you're an Amazon shopper, then that link will definitely be the plug for you. Before I go any further, I want to talk about this circle bag because it's right there at the front and I haven't said anything about it yet. I have only made one of these circle bags. If you're familiar with me, then you know that I specialize in bag making. Check out my bag page, QUAINT Bags. But this is the only one that I've ever made. And I made it because I wanted to wear it with this outfit that I'm going to talk about shortly. I wanted to have like a black and white detail. And of course you can see the ankh is right there again. One of my favorite things to add to my designs. Like I said, the strap is adjustable. It's about 2 inches thick. And the inside of the bag is actually quite spacious and it's red, which I think is so cute. I do have a circle bag pattern and tutorial that's coming out real soon, so stay tuned for that. This bag has piping around the borders, and then there's a pocket at the back with no zipper, and then there's one with a zipper up here, which makes it really ideal for carrying a lot of things. It has so many compartments, and I love a good circle bag because it just adds more definition and personality to your outfit. I made this outfit to wear to the Lost in Time festival that happens every February here in Jamaica, and it was such an amazing fun thing to work on. So it's a bustier with a strapped up back, and it has these detached sleeves. I love it so much. It's gorgeous. I got pregnant shortly after that, so I wasn't able to wear this many other times after I wore it that first time in the year. And I actually tried on the skirt and I noticed that the skirt doesn't even fit me anymore. Like it doesn't close around my waist anymore. So I'm gonna have to work off a couple of inches around my waistline before I can wear this again. But it's so cute. It's a double circle skirt and I love making double circle skirts. If you want to know how to make one, then check out the tutorial on my channel. It's linked here and it's linked in the description box down below. If my waist doesn't happen to go back to its original circumference, then I'm gonna have to do something to extend the waistband of this. If you want to learn how to extend the waistband of your skirt or pants, then leave that in the comments down below. Then we have this outfit right here. This is a really spicy one and it's one of my favorites as well. I am yet to buy this fabric again. It's a brown faux leather snake skin, crocodile skin type of fabric and I love it so much. This is one of my only pleated pieces, but it's so sexy and something about it just makes me just want to wear it right now. I don't know if it can fit my waistline, let's be honest, because I haven't tried this on since I gave birth, but I have a cute little zipper at the back here. This isn't the usual zipper. You know, most zippers don't really have a pull like this, but I use that back zipper because I couldn't find any zippers at the time. If you go on my Instagram page, you'll actually see a video of me creating this entire set. That's at So Quaint. There I post lots of things on a daily basis that will inspire you around sewing and motherhood. But then I also have this crop top that goes with it that has like a emblem of Africa here. That's also another favorite that I like to add to my designs because I just like to have something contrasting, you know, like just having a regular clothing item would just not really have no upon it. It just doesn't sit well with me. Like for example, this top I'm wearing right now, it's black, but I had to just put this on it. And imagine how different it would look if it was just plain black. The white map of Africa really makes it pop a lot. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to making more pleated pieces in 2025 because I think pleats are just extremely gorgeous. Now let's move on to another brown piece. I made this while I was pregnant. I didn't really like how it looked on me at the time, but since giving birth, I wore it and it's so gorgeous. It's a pencil skirt with an oversized kind of t-shirt. I think I might want to do something to adjust this, or I might just let it stay, because something I've been noticing since having a baby is that my clothes will now have to be breastfeeding friendly, and some of the clothes I used to wear before are not breastfeeding friendly. So this is one of them that would definitely be breastfeeding friendly, because all I have to do is just lift this side up or lift this side up depending on which side she's feeding on, and I'm good to go. But this is something that I pretty much freestyled. And I love making pencil skirts. I love making t-shirts. I don't really make t-shirts often, but pencil skirts, I make those often, and you can find a tutorial on my channel, of course, on how to make a pencil skirt. I'll link that on the screen up here. Speaking of pencil skirt, let's look at another pencil skirt outfit that I made. I also made this while I was pregnant. I made some of these things I made at a time when I just wanted clothing that would look good on me, pregnant, not expose me, and also fit my body the way I wanted to. Because a lot of my clothes just wasn't fitting the same anymore. For example, these pants, I could not wear these anymore simply because, it has a elastic waistband, and wearing it on my belly felt uncomfortable. So if not, I had to pull it underneath my belly, but I didn't always feel like showing my belly, you know what I mean? So I had to make things that were going to feel comfortable. So for this one, I did not make the waistband with an elastic. I just made it with loose fabric or with the same fabric as the rest of the skirt, and it works so perfectly. I haven't worn this since giving birth other than in this video. So I'm really excited to see how it's actually going to fit me. It has these sleeves that you can see is attached by an elastic strip of fabric. And the sleeves are also circle. The top is circle, which makes it really cute and really flouncy, and it creates like a nice ripple effect on the top. And then there is this tube piece on the inside here, which is very handy. I think this might be breastfeeding friendly for sure. It's just that my baby's face is going to be covered when I have to put this part down, unless I'm going to keep it up. But I love this piece a lot. This is perhaps my favorite shade of purple. I'm more like a green type of girl. Like, I like green more than anything else, but I'm really starting to gravitate towards pink ever since I had my daughter. And I love this purple. I think it looks really great on me as well. I've also been loving red and yellow, and now I'm starting to think that every color is my favorite. This button-up shirt still doesn't have buttons yet, but I also made this while I was pregnant, and I made it kind of like the vest, or at least with the same effect in mind as the vest. I just wanted something that I could use to add an extra layer to my outfits, and this did that perfectly. I don't think I'm done with it yet though, other than adding the buttons to it to complete it. I also want to add a black or a white unk at the back, because I just feel like having a design detail at the back of anything just makes it look that much better. It really separates your work from just being like a basic regular piece to being more like a statement piece. And I love a good statement piece. But this fabric, I found it in the fabric store and I only ever bought 2 yards. My intention was to go back and buy a lot more, but I didn't end up doing that because I kind of put myself on a fabric strike where I wouldn't buy any more fabric unless I really needed it, which meant that I had to use the fabric that I have before buying new fabric, which is so good because if you don't set boundaries with yourself when it comes to fabric shopping, you will break the bank. You will overspend on fabric, and you honestly can't get around to all that much fabric in a short space of time anyway. But I love this a lot. I love a good button-up shirt. I didn't really make many button-up shirts this year because I don't know, like sometimes I have so many favorite designs that I just don't end up making a lot of them. Like, we just make one things. The one thing I've made, or at least 2 things that I've made more than anything else, are joggers and circle skirts. And you can find patterns for both of those on my website, soquaint.com, or on my Etsy. But if you join my Patreon, then you will get a collection of literally every pattern I've ever created on my sewing pattern collection. So become a member if that's something that you want. This dress, I specifically remember making this in spring. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, I want to remind you guys that I have a tutorial on my channel for button-up shirts. So if you want to learn how to make this, then check the description box down below, or just scroll on my channel until you find the button-up shirt tutorial. It's actually very close to this one because I recently posted it. So back to this dress, right? I made this specifically in spring, and I can remember doing like a nice video and pictures underneath this poetry with all the yellow flowers on the floor, and it was just so gorgeous. It was around this time that I found out that I was pregnant, and I knew for sure that this dress was going to come in handy because You know, like dresses tend to hide or style a baby bump really well. So this was my first time ever making a tiered dress. And I really just wanted to try it because I've never done it before. So, you know, my first time, I guess you could say it went pretty well. So I had one layer here that was about 2 or 3 times the width of my hips. And then this one was 2 times the size of this one. And then there's this detail up here. And at the back, I have some shuring again. And then I have some spaghetti straps. I definitely want to make something like this again. And I want to make a skirt in this style. I just need to actually get some free time. I have a tutorial for this on my channel, by the way, so check the description for that. Next, we have this dress. So this is a circle dress that I made out of rib knit fabric with just like a regular sleeveless top. To be honest, this is not one of my favorite makes because I discovered that, you know, like the fabric started to sag in the middle here, so it has like a high-low effect at the front and the back. But that's not really what I wanted. I wanted it to just go straight across and just look like a cute little vibe. But I realized that with rib knit fabrics, they act and behave very differently than other fabrics. Rib knit fabrics are very thick and very heavy, and they take forever to dry. Like I'll put this on the line, and if it's not an extremely sunny day, it's gonna take quite some time to dry. But I really like it, and whenever I style it with like a vest, it looks pretty good, you know? Like imagine this with this. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. I like it a lot. I also want to make more vests. Everything I'm showing you here, I want to make more of them. But like I said earlier, I just need to find more time. I just had a baby and I have to do things in the time when she's napping. For example, she's napping right now, and I've been with her all day to make sure that she naps well. And I'm just praying that she doesn't wake up before I'm done making this video. I still have a few more outfits to go through, but as soon as I get more time, I intend to make a lot more of all of these things that I have right here. Next up, we have this bodysuit. This is one of the hottest pieces I made this year. One of my favorite pieces for sure. So it pretty much goes from here. So it's like a tube top up here with spaghetti straps, and it goes crisscross at the back, but I can put the crisscross at the front if I want to. And then the legs are long enough to go all the way down to my ankle, which I love a lot. I'll just wear this with like a nice pair of wallabies, and I'm like the talk of the town. This is one of my favorite pieces for sure, and I love to make this in black, in red, and I'm not really sure what other color, but I know for sure black and red would look good in this style right here. I wanted more bodysuits at this time, and I felt like bodysuits looked really good with my pregnant belly. So that's why I made this. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to look without my baby bump. Speaking of bodysuits, here is another one that I made recently. I made this while I was pregnant, and to add some zest to it, I printed my brand logo on it using my Cricut machine, and I love it. You know, I did some bias binding finishing around the armholes, the necklines, and the legs. And I do have a video on my channel here where I show you how to do bias binding on knit fabrics. That should be really fun. But I also made this with rib knit, and I realized that I would have probably been better off making it with like a rayon knit type of fabric that stretches both ways, because rib knit only stretches one way. So it only stretches like this way, which means that it doesn't stretch this way, and it just doesn't fit as nicely as if it was like a nice thick rayon knit type of fabric, you know? But I still like it anyway, and I kind of wish that I did this in white because it would have popped more. But at this point, I'm pretty much just wearing this at home, and if I do wear it out, then I'll most likely wear like a vest or a button-up shirt or a jacket with it. Next up, we have this dress. This was also one of my favorite makes this year. I love it so much. I made this because, of course, I had a baby bump, and I felt like it would dress my baby bump up very nicely, which it actually does. And whenever I put on a belt with it, it's so much cuter. It's like it adds more of a shape to the outfit itself. So if I want to go for a tent vibe, I'll just wear it as is. But if I want to add some shape to it, then I'll put a belt around the waist. And my Rasta belt is the perfect belt to wear with it because it's the perfect pop of color to just cinch in the waistline right here. And you know I'm a colorful girly, so that is a huge deal for me. But this is something that I first made probably in like what, 2021 or 2022? I think it was 2021 was the first time I really made this dress. And I just had like a large circle that I just cut a neckline and armholes into and put some bias tape around here, and just it's a dress, you know what I'm saying? And I do have a tutorial here on my channel where I show you how to use a bias tape maker and a bias binder foot, because that's how I achieved this here. And I used my Singer 4423 heavy duty sewing machine, which by the way, if you want to get 10% off on singer.com, you can use my code SoQuaint10. You don't have to buy just the Singer 4423. You can buy just about any sewing machine on their website or anything at all on their website. And if you use my code SoQuaint10, you get 10% off. I do recommend the Singer 4423 though, because that's what I have. It's extremely beginner friendly. It has automatic needle threading and it has a simple interface that's very easy to use. If you want to see me unboxing my Singer 4423 heavy duty sewing machine, then click on the video that's going to come up on the screen or in the description box down below. Next up, we have this beautiful dress right here. Yes, it is Rasta colors with some leaves, one of my favorite flowers to receive. And I made this while I was pregnant as well. This was perfect for my baby bump. And what I love about it is the fact that it was made with Challis fabric. Challis fabric is extremely soft and breathable. It's also very flowy. I did a shuring effect at the back here again, and then I did bias binding on the neckline. This is a circle type of vibe. And of course, because it's Challis fabric, which is a lot more lightweight, I don't get the same kind of circle effect that I would with like a cotton fabric like this. But I love it anyway because this has more of a laid back kind of vibe. And I do want to make more clothes with Challis fabric in 2025, like some joggers, for example, and some nice maxi dresses and those kind of things that just feel free and just breathable and airy. By the way, I must say that most of the items that I've shown you so far, I use cotton fabric to sew them. If it's not cotton, then it's knit. Next, we have this right here. So for this skirt, I didn't make the entirety of it in 2024, but I did add the waistband in 2024. My intention was not to add this type of waistband. I wanted to add a more structured waistband, but I needed to wear it somewhere really quickly. So I just threw in like a nice 2-inch elastic at the top right here, and it works so perfectly. This is one of my favorite skirts, and I want to make more skirts just like this in beautiful patterns and probably even solid colors. You know, I also have worn it as a dress before, and I have 2 sleeves right here that I wear with the dress. So, you know, like the vibe is immaculate. This has so much flexibility. So I can wear it as a skirt, as a dress, and if I just make like a simple tube, then it could be an entire set with the sleeves, the tube top, and the skirt. And the beautiful thing about sets is that you can pair each of the items with something else when you're getting dressed. Next, we have this maxi dress right here. I made this one very impulsively, and I also made it while I was pregnant. So it's like covered, but still not covered. So it's like that perfect mark between sultry and modest. This is not modest at all though, to be honest. But I prefer to be moderately covered on at least one part of my body, most likely the bottom part. So if I'm wearing like a skimpy top, I will definitely want to wear something very covered or with lots of coverage on the bottom. So whether it's a joggers or a big skirt or a dress, whatever it is. But this one right here was made with the same fabric as this button-up shirt that I showed you earlier. And I put elastic in the waist of it. And then I literally freestyled the 2 pieces up here. And then I realized that I needed something at the back that would hold them together so that my boobs would not fall out. This was purely freestyle. This is the first time I've made a maxi dress with such little fabric. Usually I'd use a lot of fabric, but I was able to make this one with just about, let me see, probably like 1 3/4 yard of fabric, because the rest of the fabric I used on this shirt, and I'm so impressed with how it turns out. I definitely have to make more of these. All right, so that's pretty much everything on the rack. But we're missing one thing. Actually, we're missing two things here. One of them is this gorgeous dress beside me that's on my Monica dress form. By the way, this dress form is from Royal Dress Forms, and she made it so easy for me to do this design detail at the front of this dress. I made this dress for my maternity photo shoot, and I am in love with it. I have to make more dresses just like these. It's literally once a year that I'll make a dress like this. I don't make this dress very often, let's be honest. But for this thing right here, I added it so I'd be able to twist it around a bunch of times. It's pretty much a continuation of this. And I brought it to the back where I could tie a cute bow like this. Isn't this the cutest little thing? I have an exclusive tutorial on my Patreon where I show how I make this entire dress. And if you want to check that out, I'm gonna say again, become a member on my Patreon. The photos for this maternity photo shoot turned out so beautiful, and you can find them on my Instagram page. Again, that is at So Quaint. I also made a button-up shirt for my Kingman, but unfortunately that button-up shirt is upstairs, and I don't feel like going upstairs right now, especially given that I made it so far in this video without my baby girl waking up. I'm so grateful that the powers are with me today and made it possible for me to create this video for you guys, where I show you all the things that I made in 2024. To be honest though, I made a lot more than that because I am a fashion designer. So I sell things to people all over the world, clothing items, bags, but I just chose to show the things that I made specifically for myself this year. And I just want to encourage you to start your sewing journey. If you've been wanting to learn how to sew, let this video be your motivation. I have so many videos on my channel, so many tutorials where you can learn how to sew. Very simple things and very complex things. And every week I make it my commitment and my duty to post at least one video that will inspire you, whether it's a tutorial or something with me talking in this manner. But when I started sewing my own clothes in 2014, I didn't really see myself being here where I could have an entire rack of clothing where I could say, hey, I made all of these things for myself in 2024. I didn't really see that as my reality. But at the same time, I did want to be able to have an entire wardrobe full of things that I made. And now here I am. I can confidently say that at least 99% of the things in my wardrobe are made by me. And that feels wonderful because that means that I get to create my own specific style, and it means that I get to inspire others just like you to do the same thing. Now, you want to make the things that I make? Then stick around, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with someone who might be interested, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.